Welcome back to Naturally Tutorials. This video will show how to blur a background of a photo to make it look like it was taken with a professional DSLR camera. I'll be showing two different ways to do this to ensure you can successfully do this technique with any photo you have. Real quick, here are the original images. Now here they are with the background blurred. The first example I'm going to show you is the photo on the left. This was done using the quick selection tool to select our subject. I will then show how to do the photo on the right where the image isn't as crisp and the subject blurs with the background, so the quick selection tool wouldn't be very effective. So I'll show how to do it with the pen tool. Also, I want to point out that the photo on the right, the foreground at his feet isn't blurred, but it slowly gets more and more blurred as you go up the image. So I'll be showing how to do that as well later on. Here we have our photo open. First thing we're going to do is duplicate our layer by right-clicking on it in the Layers panel and clicking Duplicate Layer. Like I said before, the difference between the subject of our photo and our background is pretty clear. So we're going to be able to use the quick selection tool and make a selection of our background. Just going to go through and outline the subject of our photo as closely as possible. You can go pretty quick through this because if it selects a part that you don't want, like right here, you can always hold Alt or the Option key if you're on a Mac to subtract a part from the selection. Then you can click on Refine Edge at the top to clean up the selection a little bit. After clicking Refine Edge, this window will pop up. I changed the view to black and white so it's easier to see what is selected and what isn't. Then you can drag the sliders to make the selection less jagged and be as accurate as you want. For this image, I'm going to bring the radius up a bit to around 22. Then I'm going to increase Smooth to 14 pixels. And increase the feather a few pixels, just so that whenever we blur the background later, there isn't too crisp of an edge between the subject of our photo and the background. After clicking OK, we have a nice selection of our background. And now we can go to Filter, Blur, and Lens Blur. A new window will pop up. Here you can adjust the sliders until you get the look you're going for. I found that a radius of 45, a blade curvature of 24, and a rotation of 72 gave me the look I was happy with. Click OK to finalize this, and our photo will be updated. Now you can press Ctrl or Command D to get rid of the selection to see the finished product. By hiding the layer we just added a blur to, you can see the before and after. Now it's looking like a professional photo taken with an expensive camera. Now I'll show you how to do the other example using the pen tool. This process takes longer to complete, but you can use this technique for any photo regardless of quality of the image or background and foreground colors being too similar. I'm going to grab my pen tool and start adding points around our subject. Since this is a little bit of a lengthy process, I'm going to speed it up, but if you're new to the pen tool, I do plan on making a dedicated video showing how to use it in depth, or depending on when you're watching it, it might already be out. I'll put a link in the description when I do release it. For a quick explanation while it's flying through it, I'm adding just points along the subject where it has big direction change. Now I'm coming back in with the Convert tool and dragging the points out so I can curve them around the subject smoothly. There were a few spots where I should have put a point with the pen tool but didn't, but those can easily be added to the path using the pen tool and then adjusted to fit. After we're happy with how the pen path looks around the subject, we can then grab our path selection tool from our toolbar right under the text icon and select all the points we just made. Then right click and go to Make a Selection to turn our path into a selection. I'm also going to duplicate our image layer and grab our marquee tool from the toolbar. Here we can click Refine Edge. Just as with the last image, I have the view set to black and white, and I'm going to adjust the sliders to get something I'm happy with. After you're happy with your selection, add a layer mask by clicking the Layer Mask icon in the bottom right. This will make it so our subject is shown on this layer. Making our original image layer visible makes the background visible once again, and allows us to have our subject and our background on two separate layers. Holding Ctrl or Command and clicking on the layer mask will make a selection around the subject of a photo once again. Since we want our background selected, we can right click on our image and go to Select Inverse. We're then going to duplicate our background layer once more. From here, it's the exact same process as our previous picture. Go to Filter, Blur, Lens Blur, and adjust the sliders to get a look you're happy with. I know what you're thinking, and I agree. This looks like a terrible Photoshop job at this point, but I have one more trick up my sleeve to make it look professional and not like a cut and paste from a magazine. Add a layer mask to the background layer we just put a lens blur on by clicking the icon on the bottom right. Then select your gradient tool by right-clicking on the bucket tool. Click on the gradient editor box in the top left corner and pick the black to white gradient. With the layer mask selected, click and drag from the bottom to the top of your image while holding Shift to create a straight line. This will make the bottom of our blurred layer transparent and the top of our layer still remaining blurred. Making the original image layer visible once again gives us the final result. As you can see, the bottom of our image is in focus, then the background fades to a blur, making our subject stand out. I actually want the blurred background to begin closer to the bottom of the photo, so to do this, you can click the little link icon that's on the layer to unlink the layer mask from the image. I'm going to drag the gradient we made lower so that the blur starts earlier. There we have it. Here's our finished image with a background that fades out of focus. I'll hide the blurred layer just to show the before and after. But that's all there is to it. Now you'll be able to make any picture look like it was taken with an expensive DSLR professional camera. I hope this helped. Please leave a like if you found this useful, comment below what you'd like to see next, and subscribe for more.